Coming up today on Houston Life, Megan Fox's latest interview with the Today Show was ambushed by her 7-year-old. We're chatting about your funniest or most embarrassing parenting moments.
And get ready for some island vibes. We're going to meet the local artist releasing a new album in celebration of Caribbean American Heritage Month.
Plus, from stinky ingredients to items that can stare back at the chefs, Chops host Ted Allen chats about what's in store for competitors on Food Network's Alton's Maniacal Baskets.
And are you looking for the perfect place for a romantic dinner for two? Lauren Kelly is live at Post Oak Grill with ideas for date night. All of that and more is happening today on Houston Life.
Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Houston Life on this Tuesday, June 29th, 2021. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Courtney Savala. I love that shot because you can see the box that my feet are sitting on.
It's okay.
I know.
Some of us have to stand or sit on boxes.
Yes. See? I mean, that's the only way. Otherwise, my feet just dangle. So
the secret's out.
The secret is out.
Hey, raining cats and dogs out there. So, you know, I left to go get lunch. The lights are all out in the roads, right? The streets are flooded, and then I got stuck in my car because I couldn't get back in the building.
And let me tell you something. When the traffic lights go out, people lose their minds.
Okay, maybe it's just me, or am I the only one who thinks Houstonians really have a hard time with what a four-way stop is?
Hello?
When the traffic lights are out, we treat it as a stop sign, right?
A four-way stop.
You go, I go, you go, I go. Why do so many people just like blow through it? Oh, my light's out, that means green.
Right, or a merge. Don't even get me started on the merging.
Oh, man. Well, pump the brakes out there, folks, and be careful because the roads are certainly wet. You know, we have some special guests in town today, too.
I know.
Nice that we have such great weather to welcome our First Lady, Jill Biden, and Second Gentleman, Doug Emhoff. So they're visiting Minute Maid Park. This is the third vaccination event being held at Minute Maid Park. You don't need to register. You can literally just show up. You get free vaccination, and you get tickets to either tonight's game or a game next week if you want. We have details online. Click to Houston.com.
Yeah, and it's at Union Station Lobby where you can just go in, get your vaccination. This is so great because it's all part of the MLB's Vaccinate at the Plate campaign, where all 30 MLB clubs will host at least one vaccination event this year. So it's great to have our special guests in town. Hopefully it stops raining at some point.
I don't know. Well, they're going to stay for the game, too, not just for the vaccination event, but also through the game. And the vaccinations are going from 5 to 8 p.m. So get out there and get vaccinated if you haven't.
Absolutely. Everybody's
Great incentive.
doing it.
I didn't get free tickets when I got vaccinated.
I didn't either. And Union Station Lobby, again, is where you need to go, down at the juice box, of course. And the First Lady, Jill Biden, she's busy anyway, but she got the Glam Squad out. Have you seen this cover yet?
Dr. Biden's cover? No, I have not. Do we have it?
On Vogue. Yes. Gorgeous. Gorgeous photo. The First Lady is basically, she's going to appear on the cover of the August issue, which is will be out on stands on July 20th. So that's I love the photo. Can't wait to see read the article as well, and it's awesome.
It's beautiful. She looks great. Career worth celebrating. And remember that how many months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when there was that guy who wrote that Dr. Biden shouldn't be called Dr. Biden. She earned her PhD fair and square. She is a remarkable person. We're glad to have her in Houston today.
Absolutely.
I called to see if she could make it to Houston Life, but traffic lights were out. So
oh, yeah, four-way stops. Very confusing.
Hey, speaking of remarkable milestones in history, so did you hear this? This was news to me. Transgender woman wins first Miss Nevada USA. For the first time ever, a transgender contestant has won the crown. So this will lead into the Miss USA pageant, which will air this November. She's 27 years old. Her name is Catalina Enriquez, and she made history on Sunday. In case you missed it, I think we have a little clip.
One day I hope to see someone like me on stage in Miss USA, and it just happened to be I was the person that I needed.
Well, there she is. She is beautiful, well-deserved, 27 years old. She beat out 21 other candidates to represent Miss Nevada. And a few months back in March, she was crowned Miss Silver State USA. So a great way to end Pride Month, and we'll root for her in November.
Congratulations. Stunning photos, stunning face, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and in an interview that I was reading, she was making comments that pageants aren't just about beauty, right? It's also about your platform and what you believe in. My sister was a pageant girl. Did we ever talk about this?
No.
Yeah, so in Utah, Utah's heritage was 1847. So Liz was like Miss Days of 47, right? And she actually, I think she was first runner-up to the Miss Utah crown. But so I used to go to these pageants and cheer for my sister. These families, they spend so much time and effort in the pageant world. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So anyone who's willing to just sort of put themselves out there, and you know, there are always jerks who are critical and say terrible things, and I'm sure will about this lovely woman. But taking the high road is these girls are trained to do it, and more power to them. And
we have our own pageant former contestant here at KPRC, too. Did you know this? Lauren Freeman.
Oh my gosh, okay, yeah.
Lauren Freeman did pageants.
I just saw Lauren Freeman walk in the building out of the rain.
Gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. Lauren Freeman is the real deal. She is so much fun.
Super fun.
What was her crown?
I don't know.
Maybe
we could zoom her in. Can we zoom her in?
Just have her come on, run it down from the newsroom.
I don't know what her crown was, but I remember seeing photos and, you know, hearing stories about it.
Did you ever do any pageants?
Why are you giggling?
Because my favorite...
You can't believe it if I did it, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. I love watching the pageants on television. I love it. My
first travel assignment as a reporter, Miss America.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because I was working in Midland in Miss Texas. Reagan, can't remember her last name, was from Midland. So I followed her to the Miss America pageant.
That is super cool.
I've
met a couple of Miss Americas over the years.
Lovely girl.
I've always wanted to host a pageant because it seems so exciting, right? On the local level, sometimes they're not quite as polished. And so you just get...
You work up to that, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, the talent competition, the interview competition. I swear I told you once, a pageant my sister was in, this girl was asked the question, if you could write a book, what would it be about? And, like, what would you call it?
What was the book?
I didn't tell you this.
No.
Well, her response was, I was expecting, I don't know, world peace, homeless, ending hunger, I don't know, something, right? And this sweet, lovely woman said her book would be called The Awesome Gummy Worm because she loves gummy worms. And it would be about an awesome gummy worm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't wait to read the book.
Thank you, Mildred. Thank you.
That reminds me of I think it was a teen competition, such as Whereas the Americas. Remember that? I don't know what pageant that was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't?
I think it was Miss North Carolina.
Oh, but you don't know what I'm talking about? I did not do pageants.
Some people don't have maps, you know, in the Iraq, such as... Look it up on YouTube.
Oh,
classic pageant moment.
It's a good one. I did do a few runway shows for the Lord and Taylor.
Really? So
I did.
Like the local department store,
yes.
Lord and Taylor.
Yes.
Lord and Taylor is...
No more, I don't think.
And I don't think in Texas, or were they? Maybe.
Yeah, they were in Texas. But this was in Chicago. Yes, my mom, I would do these little, and I say runway, I'm gonna use that real loosely. It was like in the mall somewhere. I might have been up on a riser.
That's the runway.
It was a riser, so it technically was, you know, but I did a few of those.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. I loved it, but I never, you know, those girls are very tall and lanky. I don't have that.
I think regardless of your path in life, though, I mean, when I was a kid, I had my modeling years, right? But I think it's sort of, I was a very quiet person. I know this is hard to believe, right?
Very.
But I would go to school, and socially, you know, a lot of the kids my age they weren't fans because I was the kid who was in choir and I played the piano. Obviously now we know those things are super cool, and we have like singing competitions and dance competitions you watch on TV. But back in the 80s, I mean, that wasn't the cool thing to do. And so I was very nervous about getting up in front of people and speaking. It's a total irony that I have a job on television now. It really is. Because I used to be terrified speaking in front of people.
Well, and here's the thing, and just kind of going back to the pageant world, when they have those questions like the interview portion of the pageant, it's a way for the judges and for all of us to see how these people think on their feet, you know? And so you have to prepare without preparing, right? Because you don't know the questions. And so if you can't think on your feet, it's very difficult to answer those such as, whereas, maps questions.
And sometimes you
Gummy
just blurt
bears.
out.
What was the name of the book?
The Awesome Gummy Worm.
I would read it.
I think it's on store shelves now.
I hope so. If not, I'm going to write one.
It would be great if she pursued that title.
I know. I love gummy worms. They don't get enough love. Gummy bears get all the love. The worms, not so much.
It's a very short book.
2 pages.
Just guessing.
Okay, so if you're still with us, don't go anywhere. There is still more to come here in Houston Life, from public tantrums to having no filter. The moments that had our kids embarrassing us.
Never. But for now, let's check in with Lauren Kelly, who has a fun idea for date night. Hey, Lauren.
You guys, Post-Oak Grill has been around for over 3 decades right here in Houston. It's a staple, and I'm going to show you why. It's perfect for happy hour, for date night, and so much more. That's when Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes. Cheers.
What you know about me?
Okay, guys, welcome back. We are talking about celebrity Megan Fox. Now, she is a model. She's an actress. She was recently on the Today Show. She's doing an interview regarding her new movie that's out, and it's called Till Death.
Okay.
And since the pandemic, we're, of course, doing all these things from home, Zooms. We saw it happen here. Amy Davis, her daughter Piper, comes rolling in a robe. Connor and AJ, when I was broadcasting from home, kind of burst in, want to talk to mom. Well, Megan's kids interrupt, sort of. I mean, it was super cute. Her interview with Savannah and Jenna. I think we have a screenshot here where you can see her son Bodie crashed the interview. She's a mom of 3 boys. You can kind of see him in the background. At some point, he started crawling on the ground. But it was like at 7 or 7:30 in the morning on West Coast time. So her kids had just gotten up.
She looks beautiful.
I mean, amazing.
But is there like a controversy about this? Because it seems like now, post-COVID, maybe at some point in the distance, you know, in our history, it would have been unheard of to see a child like show up at work. But now, in the era of COVID, it seems very normal.
Yeah, and in that photo, too, you can kind of see like some pillows or on a couch or something, but they're on the ground. Apparently, they had a movie night the night before, so it's just, it's early. It's like, put the camera up, here we go.
I'd say that's pretty tame as embarrassing moments go.
I would say so, too. It's just sort of real life. She's a mom, right? So her kids are going to be walking. It was cute when he was crawling, but it all kind of happens, you know?
It's funny when Courtney brings her kids to work, like AJ was here a while back, and I think sometimes he forgets that we're on live TV. So he'll be like walking around the set and be like, hey, mom.
I'm like,
just wait 27 seconds and we'll be able to have this conversation.
I know. They're just so, especially AJ, because he's fearless and he kind of sees the lights since he was little, so it doesn't faze him at all.
It's awesome, though.
Yeah.
We're all human, right? No need to be embarrassed, right? Okay. Why don't we bring in Joe Sam with our question of the day. Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I think with Zoom now, nothing's, impossible for seeing them walk across the screen. She did a good job. She wanted some spotlight time. And, we want to hear from you. What is your funniest or most embarrassing parenting moment? And we already have some great comments coming in, as you can see right now. Terry, she writes in saying, I made my son's lunch when he was in 4th grade, and I mistakenly put a can of beer in it instead of a can of pop. The school called and replaced the beer with milk. You see, I love these comments. Coming up next, we have Christine. She writes in, at the grocery store with my young daughter, and the cashier asked her why she wasn't in preschool, to which she answered, Mommy forgot to send me. Day off. Why not? And Debbie, she writes, my 3-year-old daughter would walk through the mall saying, I can't hold the hunger in. I can't hold the hunger in. Aww. When she wanted a snack, I would tell passerbys, giving me dirty looks, I swear she just ate at home. So yeah, my mom would always get this in too. Head over to our Houston Life Facebook page and join the conversation with these great comments. We'll share more of your comments a little later on in the show. Courtney and Derek, I have to ask you guys, what do you think about this situation here? Any embarrassing moments?
I feel like there are so many. One you just brought to my attention. This was a couple years ago. We were at Sun and Ski Sports walking through after a movie. This was out of Memorial City Mall. And the boys wanted to go look at the bikes and everything. And Connor's kind of he wants to, he sees with his hands, not his eyes. And I said, don't touch anything. And what does he do? He touches the bike, and it was a domino effect.
Everything falls right over.
Of the bikes, and he just froze.
I would have just ran away.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
and trying to like pick him up, and the guy comes out, I got it, ma'am, I got it. I said, well, let me help you. I got it. Okay, yep, yes you do.
I don't have any kids, but my nephew, he did a little fart in the middle of a prayer meeting when everybody bowed their heads for silence, and all you heard was it come out, and I'm like, oh God, it was one of the silent killers. I just was sweating the whole time because I knew everybody was looking around. I just walked out the room.
Yeah, blame it on the little kid.
Right, it was him.
All right, Joe, thanks for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Good stuff coming in. All right, have you been looking for a cool date spot? I feel like all the time.
Always.
Right? We're always looking for a good spot. The Houston restaurant has been a staple in the Bayou City since 1989.
And today, Lauren Kelly is giving us a look at what's on the menu at the Post Oak Grill in Uptown Park. Lauren, I love this spot already because of the glass of bubbles you had before the commercial break. That was a really nice heavy pour.
You know, I asked for a Diet Coke, and they just conveniently handed me a glass of champagne, and I said, this is my date night spot, just from that alone. Y'all, this is a beautiful place that's been around in Houston for so long, Post Oak Grill. I know that you've driven down the freeway, and you've seen the sign that Chef Polo says, come on in and see what they have to serve you, with so many magnificent dishes. They have breakfast, they have lunch, they have dinner. They really have something for everybody, and it's very unique, and they kind of will cater to you and what your taste buds like. And here with us today, we have the entire crew. I'm so excited for this. Chef Marcelo, you're going to tell us a little bit about the lunch special plates that we have out right here, right now, correct?
Correct. Today we have our, this is always favorite, very light, healthy chicken Tuscan soup, vegetables, pulled chicken, avocado, and pico de gallo.
Okay.
Very light.
Okay.
And then down there we have it, the Nantucket salad. It's a spinach toast with raspberry vinaigrette, crumbled blue cheese, caramelized pecans, blueberries.
Okay, we're moving on. I think that's a fish, right?
And then that's a salmon. Chef Luis is going to explain.
Chef Luis, tell us about this one.
Hello, hello. Hi, how are you doing? Excellent. Yeah, you know, of course, we have three-course meal. We have the appetizer, that can be the Chef Marcelo was talking about, the soup and the salad. And this is the main entree. We make homemade mushroom risotto, sweet potato casserole, jumbo asparagus, a little bit of artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes to do the topping for the Himalayan stone salmon.
We got to scoot on over to the dessert. I can see the dessert, right? That's a sorbet. Chef Polo, is that a sorbet?
Yes, that is mango sorbet with raspberry sauce and blueberries garnish.
Well, you are the famous chef that we've seen your face all over, so thank you so much.
That's very light for summertime. For that reason, we choose these dishes for a few months, and we change the menu every 90 days.
Oh, so it's a rotating menu, so you're never going to have the same thing on the menu, right? Correct?
But sometimes when the people come and had it one time and they remember next time, we will make it for them.
Wonderful. Well, Elisa, tell us those hours really fast. People can catch lunch.
Lunch is going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
All right.
But we also do breakfast from 7 a.m. to 11.
So there's literally enough food for everybody at any time of the day. You guys don't go anywhere because we're going to move on to a few more dishes a little bit later on the show. And I'm going to tell you about this beautiful VIP room and all of the other party rooms here at Post Oak Grill. We're right in Uptown Park. Derek and Courtney, I've got that glass of champagne to finish as I take a tour. Back to you guys in the studio.
We're drooling.
Lauren, I thought you were going to say I have a glass of champagne waiting for both of you. So
I know.
Save us a couple seats and a couple glasses, please.
Maybe when I get back. Sorry.
Okay, we'll see in a bit. Thanks, Lauren. When we come back, don't sweat high energy costs this summer, the resource that can help you easily shop providers and save money.
And later, he was one of the original Fab Five. Ted Allen joins us to dish on his new show on the Food Network. That and much more when Houston Life returns.
Well, it is no secret that as the Houston temperatures rise, so does your electricity bill. But our next guest promises to help us save money and not overpay for electricity. Here to explain how it all works is Director of Operations for Power Wizard, Jeff Cocking. Welcome back to the show. Jeff, you know, this is one of my favorite topics. It's fascinating to me. In Texas, it's great that we have a choice, right, of these power companies. But do you often hear from consumers that the whole process is very confusing?
It's really confusing for most people. If you just think about Texas, the number of people who move into Texas, the people who have been here, in most of the country, the electricity rates are determined by a government body, whereas in Texas, you have to do that work yourself. And there's really great deals to make on electricity, so you can save a lot of money, but you have to be a very active consumer, and you've got to be on top of that, because if you go to sleep and quit paying attention, all of a sudden you're overpaying by quite a bit of money.
Uh-oh, okay. And when it comes to kilowatt hours and how much you're using, looking at your bill, I know it can be complicated. Let's chat about Power Wizard. How exactly does this work? And essentially, no matter who your electricity provider is, you can sign up for Power Wizard, right?
Correct, because Power Wizard's a technology company. We're not an electricity company. You're not switching to us. What we're doing is we're actually managing all of your switching for you. Because we were talking about a few seconds ago, it's confusing. You know, which company do you get on? Which plan? There's so many gimmick plans out there, and without even realizing it, I don't know what to do, and so you step back. And so what Power Wizard does is we do all that for you. We do the shopping. We figure out what the right plan is for you. We manage the contracts for you now, a year from now, 2 years from now. We take all the guesswork out, and basically we just save you a ton of money so you can do those fun date nights that we just saw a few minutes ago.
Well, the date nights, they sound good. And the monthly savings can really add up. We've been seeing some video of your website. So this is online, your savings calculator on powerwizard.com. So this is essentially what people would visit, put in their info, and that's how they find out if they're overpaying. Is that right?
Correct. As I always tell people, it's not a question of if you're overpaying, it's really about how much are you overpaying. So we have this really great tool on the website, it's a savings calculator. We just ask people, go get a bill, come to powerwizard.com. It'll take you 30 seconds. It's totally anonymous. We won't ask you for anything other than your zip code. And we'll be able to show you how much you spend currently on an annual basis for electricity. And then we'll also be able to show you that if you let Power Wizard manage your memberships and figure out what's the right retail provider to be with, how much money we could be saving you in the market. And for most people, we're seeing somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 savings a year.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. You mentioned a moment ago that, you know, before you know it, you wake up and you're paying too much. This is true, right? Because what ends up happening is people stay with the same provider for years just because it's convenient, but that can cost us more money in the long run.
So the entire Texas electricity market is about introductory rates. You remember the cable companies and all the companies, they get new customers in with a really great rate. And then after you've been there, they just keep raising your money, raising your rates over and over. And that's the way the Texas electricity market works. The longer you are with electricity company, the higher your rates will be. And so that's really what Power Wizard brings to the table. Because there are so many different electricity companies out there, there's over 1,000 plans to choose from. We just manage that for you. We move you from basically introductory rate to introductory rate, and we ensure that you're always paying a low rate in the market.
Okay, how much does it cost to sign up?
$8 a month for our service. And for most of the people, if you're saving somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500, that means you're saving over $100 a month. And so we're probably one of the only service that you have that actually saves you more money than you spend.
Okay, Jeff, listen, next time you're on the show, I want to talk about all of these savings plans, like free nights, free weekends, all that. You say those are just gimmicks, right?
They're all gimmicks. It's like a street hustler with three-card money. You think you're saving money, and all of a sudden your cash is gone. So, yeah, you want to avoid those for all you can.
Okay, well, that's bad news. But the good news is you can sign up for Power Wizard. Jeff Cocking, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thanks, you too. And for more information, you can visit powerwizard.com or call 855-475-8315. Okay, now let's send things on over to Joe Sam with a look at some new music. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Derek, that's right. Coming up, we are feeling the vibes of the island as I caught up with local artists celebrating Caribbean heritage and culture in the form of music. Plus, we'll get a check of what's coming up for the news at 4. Houston Life is back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Houston Live. Courtney and Derek back with you on this Tuesday at 3:30.
I'm sorry I'm laughing. I peeked ahead at some of our viewer comments. Guys, these are so good. Earlier in the show, we asked, what is your funniest or most embarrassing moment as a parent? Here's some of what you had to say, starting with Kelly. I'm going to do my best to get through this. Standing in line at the checkout in a store, my 4-year-old wouldn't stop asking for candy, and after saying no, I was ignoring the repeated requests. Finally, I gave him the look. You moms know what I'm talking about. And he shrank backward, held his hands up in front of his face, and screamed, "Please don't hit me." This is not a child who had ever been hit, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
On the mouth of babes, Jessica writes in, road raging and your 8-year-old hollering from the back of the car in a very zen voice. You do know you're wasting your time and own energy because they can't hear you anyway. Needless to say, that was the last time I yelled at another vehicle going down the road. LOL. Safe, peaceful travels.
Wow, okay, wise 8-year-old. Lucretia writes in, I grabbed another boy's hand in Woolworths, not my son's, and was pulling him because he wasn't moving. Well, you know, attempted kidnapping. It happens to everyone.
It
right?
happens to everyone. This isn't a parenting moment, but my brother, when he was in high school, I think, was picking up my mom from work and was waiting for her to come outside. And he could see her walking, and she walked and got in someone else's car. It was like, when she sat down, she said, let's go, let's go. And the guy, ma'am. You know, my brother's watching the whole thing on hat. I've gotten in the wrong Uber before.
Oh, dear.
I know.
That's not a good scenario.
Yeah, funny things that happen when your brain is just full.
We're human, right?
Let's check in now with Keith, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up at the top of the hour. Keith, I know you've got to have a funny dad story, at least one.
I don't know if I can share the, you know, because
I love your non-sharing story.
You seriously?
Kids say what they see.
Yes.
And they say they're on, you know, it can be honest sometimes. And I had one daughter who saw someone in a store. Oh my gosh, I can't say it. They said what they saw. And
I understand.
It was embarrassing, and we had to apologize. And, you know, And
I feel you. That happened with me with AJ once, and I could see it coming. I could see the wheels, and I just leaned over and put my hand over his mouth.
That's the best. Yes, that's the best.
It's like, we're done. We're leaving.
Bite your tongue, young lady.
I was with Morgan, right? Mm-hmm. He was about 13, and we ran into this sort of minor musical artist.
Right.
And I said, oh, I love your CD. And Morgan says, we lost it. and this artist said, don't you hate kids? And I said, yes, I hate kids.
I still loved it.
Darn those kids for telling the truth.
I know. Oh my gosh. The viewers' comments are great. And I love
Did I hear the word Woolworths?
This must have been a while back because I don't remember the last time I saw a Woolworths.
It's been a minute.
It's been 35 years.
I used to love me some Woolworths.
Oh, that's like a Ben Franklin store. Remember those?
I loved a Ben Franklin too.
How about Perry Brothers or K. Woolens? Anybody know about those stores?
No.
Okay. Well, that's because they're so old.
I still go to Big Lots in Galveston. What do I know?
Okay.
Okay, you want to talk weather?
Let's talk about it. Oh my gosh.
It's a little wet outside, yeah.
You know what? It's improving, and I think the whole forecast is improving at least for a couple or 3 days. So let's talk about it. There's a look at the sky. Not bad. I'll tell you, I tried to drive down this to get to work, and it was a mess just a couple hours ago. So that's much improved. Some rain-cooled air, 77, 81, 78 in Sugar Land, 84 in Galveston right now. The rains, even though you see this aerial flood advisory until 4:45, the rains really have backed off where you see this box, and so it's improved there. I'll take that off so you can see what's going on. A little shower. Looks like it's headed right across 59, may affect Kingwood here and continue off toward North Houston, and then everything else is fairly quiet. A bit of a dry out in Fort Bend County, and behind this, we're getting a bit of a break. You can see the showers on the heavier side, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Down in Fort Bend County, a little more than 2. So we had those aerial flood advisories issued because of that. But look at what we have in the Gulf, which is just widely scattered showers. So once this gets sort of out of here, just like yesterday, we're going to see things quiet down, especially as we get towards sunset. The problem is there's still a lot of Gulf moisture out there. So we're not done with it, although I think we are going to see a bit of a dry out. By that, I mean the chances of rain begin to go down a little bit as we go into the next few days. So 30% through 4, 5, 6 o'clock, 20%, 7, 8 o'clock, and then we're done with the rain, if not even sooner than that. As we go into Thursday and Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it'll be slightly drier, 30, 40% chances of rain, but we get to the holiday weekend. There's a front, another front that's going to fall apart over the area, and that's going to try to stir things up, but I'm going to go over this at 4 o'clock. And then the tropics bear watching, always do this time of year. Got a couple of disturbances in the Atlantic to show you, for what it's Woolworth.
For what?
Get that? Get it?
Well done.
Yes, yeah.
Well done.
Does it have a cafeteria counter, though? That's what I know.
Lord.
All right, Frank, thank you. And here's a look at some of the other stories we're covering for you this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, to spank or not to spank. It's the age-old debate about how to discipline children this afternoon. Some new research about whether or not this form of discipline actually works.
And finally, people collect all sorts of memorabilia. And coming up at 4 o'clock, we're going to introduce you to a woman who's accumulated more than 11,000 Smurf items. Her collection has even gotten her into the record book. So clearly a lot to cover coming up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it is impressive for sure.
That's a lot of Smurfs.
That's a lot of Smurfs.
It is indeed.
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
All right.
We are continuing to celebrate Caribbean American Heritage Month by giving you the sounds of the islands.
Joe Sam joins us now with more on a brand new album just released by a local artist. Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys. Yeah, it's time to get into that good vibe that we're about to give you. Chemotherapy, he's one of Houston's hottest Caribbean artists and has been showcasing his talent all this month with the new album titled Son of Putin in honor of his late father. Now, I caught up with the Caribbean artist to see what got him into the industry and how he's taking us from Houston to the islands with his laid-back music.
Unicorn life, the forest be green, but the sunshine don't come through. Caribbean music has a sound of its own, a sound that local artist Chemotherapy has come to master, and one that he's ready to share with everyone.
It's more or less music that just moves people's spirit. It brings people together. It's like a world music. It's not just a one genre feel, even though they call it Caribbean music. It's more so a group of get-together of people. It doesn't matter where you're from, your background, your race, your creed. It's a celebration.
He started his music career when he was a teenager, trying to fit in with the mainstream rap industry, but soon came to discover it wasn't for him.
Getting with other producers and people that created the actual compositions, they couldn't feel what I was trying to portray, and they couldn't bring it out.
That's when he took things into his own hands.
I kind of flipped the script. I got some equipment and started producing my own beats, and I kind of put the writing and recording vocally on the back burner. Started doing tracks, as they call them, and that kind of just opened up more doors for me.
Bama Lama, Bama Lama, Bama Lama.
Rude Boy Records was started as Chemotherapy popped up on the Houston Caribbean scene, making a huge mark on the energy-filled music, and now has a new album incorporating the smooth island vibes.
I would like people to not only embrace the culture, but to understand that music is limitless. This album is an eclectic vision of all variations of music. So you're gonna have your hip-hop, your pop, you're gonna have your Caribbean, even a little country taste in there. And of course, you're gonna have like your reggae styles, and just like how we talk, so we could change it up, and you're gonna have your accent and your Caribbean style, you check what I say, you know? So it's gonna be a good little vibe, you know, a good mixture, and you're gonna come away happy.
Thank God for sending these away.
Yeah, I've been jamming to the album all this week. Now, you can pick up his new album, Son of Putin, dropped this month, and can also be streamed on all music platforms. I'll have a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv, where you can find more about his incredible Caribbean music. And Courtney and Derek, when I was listening to the album, I couldn't stop dancing the whole time because
it was kind of getting to that vibe, right? The island vibe.
Yeah, I was feeling good after listening to this. You already saw that I did the food yesterday at the Reggae Hut for Caribbean American Heritage Month. Today, I did the music. Tomorrow, we're going to be incorporating all of that into a big festival that's going to be happening this weekend.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Very nice.
It's going to be fun for everybody to get out there. You're going to see those really colorful costumes, too.
Fabulous. I liked Chemo's rocket hat as well.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely.
Okay, coming up after the break, Emmy Award winner and host of Food Network's Chopped, Ted Allen has given us all the details on his new series. There he is. He's zooming in for us. The new series is called Alton's Maniacal Baskets. We're going to talk to Ted right after the break.
Well, if you think cooking on TV is easy, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Think again. There is a new Chopped tournament series airing on the Food Network, and it is really heating things up.
It is called Alton's Maniacal Baskets, and the show puts 16 chefs to the test for a chance to win $50,000. And joining us with some fun surprises in store is the show's host, Emmy Award winner and author, Ted Allen. Welcome to Houston Life, Ted. It's great to see you.
Hey, it's great to see you too, Derek and Courtney. You just left out one part of the title. It's Chopped, Alton's Maniacal Baskets. But when Alton's on the set, it becomes the Alton Show anyway.
Exactly. Well, I'm super excited about it. You have so many accolades to your name. A writer with Esquire since 1997. You've also been a judge for Top Chef for many seasons. A 2012 James Beard Award winner for hosting Chopped. Let's talk about this new show, because this sounds incredibly, it gives me a lot of anxiety.
Terrifying.
Yes, it sounds terrifying.
Well, I think to Derek's point earlier, anybody who thinks cooking on television is easy has probably never done it. And there are very few people in this world that are anywhere near as discerning a judge of that than Alton Brown. Alton goes all the way back to the very beginnings of Food Network.
Yeah.
He and Bobby Flay are the remaining original gangsters from, when the network was launched 26, 27 years ago. So there are very few people alive who know as much about cooking on television as Alton. And Alton also brings to the party his enormous social media following, who helped him decide what terrifying ingredients to put in the basket. I'm not allowed to tell you what any of them are, but I can tell you that one of them has eyes.
Staring back at him.
Okay, but that is where this twist, I think, is so clever. So essentially, Alton Brown is in charge, and he is challenging 16 chefs to create some sort of delicious dish out of something that is not so delicious. Having eyes, can you give us any more hints about, like, these are all edible ingredients, right?
Yes, and there are many edible ingredients with eyes that not everybody enjoys them, but a lot of Americans do. I'm not going to lie. We do choose ingredients sometimes for their ability to strike fear in the hearts of chefs. And that's not an easy thing to do. Probably one of the things that's most validating to me over all these years, we've been on for 14 years, 800 plus show episodes, is that chefs are always willing to put themselves through this. When, if you think about it, a chef has to be a control freak.
Right.
So when you come, and I'm talking about it in the best way, picking the best ingredients, picking the plates that are perfect. That you're an artist and you're expressing yourself when you're a chef. And when you come on Chopped, we take away all of the control. And not only that, we make you cook with things that chefs might not want to cook with, like tortilla chips with flavor sprayed onto them, or, an animal that's, I will promise you there are no live animals involved. So that's not going to be an issue.
And not to mention all the
cameras
cameras in everybody's face too. So, you're being recorded and doing all of this for the show. So adding in another layer of anxiety, I'm sure. Okay, so can we ask, what was your favorite mystery basket ingredient that you can talk about?
Well, historically, there have been so many thousands of them that it's hard to choose, but I'll just go back to my age-old favorite, which is the whole chicken in a can. Not so much because of how disgusting it sounds and is, at least in its appearance. When you open the top of it, it's a big can. It's like a 2 or 3 quart can. And when you open that and it slides out, it does slide out with sort of a, sound.
Like the cranberry sound. The cranberry
sort of,
can.
yes. And unlike the cranberries, the jelly stuff that comes out with the chicken does not retain the corrugated marks. By the way, I was always the cranberry sauce guy in my family, and I insisted on opening and we went for the canned, jellied stuff. I'm not proud. I'm not ashamed either. By the way, I should also mention that the other exciting news about this launch is that it's also going to be available for streaming on Discovery Plus. So for people who have, I don't want to encourage anybody in this whole cable cutting thing, but anyway, we're trying to meet people, we're trying to meet audiences wherever they may be,
right.
And I know you're doing that as well.
Well, and so the new episode drops tonight. What can people expect from tonight, which is part 2? $50,000, we should mention, $50,000 at stake. And how much time do these chefs have to create their deliciously not so delicious meal?
They have 20 minutes for the first round, the appetizer round. They get 30 minutes apiece for the entree and dessert round. Our judges are Alton, Manit Chauhan, and Marcus Samuelson, who are an extremely worldly group of people, and literally from all over the world, those three. Alton brings a little slice of Atlanta, but he knows he's quite a world traveler too. So it's just, I remember once we did a tournament with Alton a few years ago where, when we chop somebody, we lift that cloche, which is what it's called. We lift that cover so you can see whose plate is sadly has led them off, has gotten them sent home. Alton one time picked that close up and threw it across the studio, and it landed. It slid perfectly into the toe of the person who was about to be cut. And none of us knew he was going to do that. Nobody, not the producers, not me. It shocked the heck out of us. I've never seen anybody show that kind of impudent behavior on our set. But you know what? When Alton's in the house, you let him run the show.
Absolutely. And I love seeing you evolve too, Ted. I first became a fan of yours, of course, from all the stuff that you've done on Food Network and Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Still a fan. I'll watch that every time. Every time.
Thank you. Another network just aired a reunion show with us a week or so ago that was really super fun to do. There's the boys. And I'm also really proud of the new crew. And if you didn't know it, Anthony Porowski worked for me and my husband for 3 years. So there's a continuity there between the original Gangster team and the reboot team today. There they are. They're good. They're good people.
Well, hard to believe,
They make them cry more than we did. We destroyed their houses better than the new guys did.
There are a lot of tears on the new version. Hard to believe it was 2003, Ted, since that first episode of Queer Eye aired. We got to leave it there for today.
Right on.
But we're going to be watching tonight, though. All right, come back and see us anytime at Houston Life.
I would love to. It's on tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks again for coming on.
Ted Allen, thanks so
pleasure.
much. And you can catch tonight's show at 8 p.m. Alton's Maniacal Baskets tonight at 8 p.m. on Food Network and Discovery Plus. And for more information, you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv.
What a treat to have him on. We're going to check in now with Lauren Kelly, who's helping us plan a date night out. Hey, Lauren.
Absolutely. Lots of couples want to get back out there for a date dinner night. Posto Grill has got you covered. We already showed you the lunch specials, and coming up next, we're going to show you the dinner specials. Look at that. Is this service not the best or what? Don't move. Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes. Grill has been around for over 3 decades, and today I am at the Uptown Park location showing off lunch and dinner specials that you can come for a very special date night. Everybody's looking to get back out there. Date nights are happening again, and this is actually the place that you should be. So first up, we're going to talk to Chef Marcelo a little bit about this dish right in front, because I can smell it. It looks absolutely amazing.
This is a sashimi and shrimp. Sashimi salmon with shrimp, tossed with ginger soy sauce, with fresh mango, jicama, onions, and garnished with avocado.
I love that this is a filling dish, yet still very light.
It's very light, very light. You're going to love it whenever you try it. You know it's delicious.
Totally opposite of light is the steak. Let's talk about that. Look at this thing.
It's going to talk about...
Chef Luis, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, this is a 3-color peppercorn steak, filet mignon. We serve it over duo potato. Regular Idaho potato, sweet potato. We have the delicious garlic spinach on top of the duo potato. We have the filet mignon on top. We have roasted tomatoes. We have the traditional truffle merlot sauce and morel morsels on top. Delicious.
That truffle sauce. You had me at truffle. Now let's skip on over to the best part right here, the dessert. Let's talk about it.
This is a grilled pineapple white chocolate croissant bread pudding with...
ice cream on top.
With ice cream on the top and caramel salsa chocolate syrup.
I mean, do we have to describe it? We're just looking at it and we can smell it. And finally, I want to jump to Nicole. Right now we are in the VIP room, but you have plenty of party rooms for pretty much any occasion.
Most definitely. We have anything and can accommodate any sizes from 1 all the way up to 200. We've got 5 private rooms, 3 at least that can do 12 to 16, and then we can go on from there. So.
And you know what? Speaking of date night, they have live music too every Thursday, which is going to be so much fun.
Exactly. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, we've got live music. And then coming up with all of the holidays and all of that, we have more stuff coming on as well.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for showing us all this delicious food. If you want more info, just log on to HoustonLife.tv about Posto Grill. This is going to be an amazing experience. We'll be right back with more Houston Life. Don't go anywhere.
We love to come full circle on Houston Life, and that's what we're going to do now. Earlier in the show, we were talking about pageants, your sister, and then I told everybody, reminded everyone that our very own Lauren Freeman was a pageant contestant.
I mean, if you ask me,
Ladies and
she
gentlemen.
has still got it.
They still got it. Miss Lauren Freeman, what pageants were you in? What titles did you have?
So I was in Miss Texas. I did not win, but I was in Miss Texas, and that's actually where I met Frank Billingsley.
You're kidding.
No,
Was he
he emceed,
Oh, no.
and I went over and told him, I said, I want to be a news anchor when I grow up. Not that I was that young at the time. And he said, all you girls want to be news anchors. Get in line. Yeah, right. And okay. So then when I interviewed here, I said, oh, Mr. Billingsley, I don't know if you remember me. No, I've never seen you before. Yes, in the Miss Texas pageant, you told me I wasn't going to be able to do this. He goes, well, all y'all girls want to do that. And I said, well, I did it.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
I love But you said you would rock the beaded dresses,
Oh man,
right?
I had the full-length beaded dresses. It was a lot going on.
Can
A lot
you
of
wear
hair
one tomorrow to work?
That's a yes.
Okay, good.
Sure.
And
5 o'clock.
unfortunately, we're
Sure,
out of
I will
time.
not eat until tomorrow. Afterwards.
Such a good sport.
Yeah.
Beautiful inside and out.
Thank
Great
you,
to see
Lauren. That does it for us here at Houston Life, and I'm so sad our show is over because I was really hoping to see photos of that blue beaded dress, Lauren.
I will get them tomorrow, I promise.
Okay?
Okay.
We'll do it.
We're on it.
Send it on over to Studio A for the news at 4 o'clock.